3 times. In 3 separate years, Elon Musk has typed the exact same sentence about Tesla's full self-driving software. Not a coincidence. Not a marketing slip. The identical promise, word for word, attached to 3 different version numbers: 2023, 2025, and now 2026. And this time it's not just outside critics saying so. Tesla's own employees, the people paid to personally teach this software what safety looks like, told Reuters they would not get into the car themselves. But that's not even the detail that should worry you most. Because right now, while Tesla keeps repeating that same promise, the one fleet built to actually prove it true has been quietly shrinking instead of growing. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how many cars are really out there today, and why 2 US senators just handed regulators a deadline that expires this week. On April 9, 2026, Elon Musk posted 7 words on X. Version 15 will far exceed human levels of safety, even fully unsupervised, even in the most complex situations on the road. Bold claim, the kind that moves a stock. But if you have followed Tesla's self-driving story for more than a few years, something about that sentence should feel familiar. Not the version number, the sentence itself. Because Musk said almost the exact same thing about version 12, back in November of 2023. Vastly safer than human driving, he wrote then. Version 12 will far exceed human safety, even when unsupervised. Version 12 shipped, it did not far exceed human safety. It remained a supervised system, hands on the wheel, same as always. Then came version 14 in the summer of 2025. Musk, again. Better than human, he said. Maybe 2 or 3 times better. And version 15, he added, has a shot at 10 times. Now it is 2026. Version 15 is here on paper, still unreleased. And the promise is back, word for word, in almost the same shape it had 3 years ago. Here is why that matters to you, specifically if you own one of these cars or you are thinking about buying one. Tesla owners have paid thousands of dollars for full self-driving. Some of them bought it in 2019. Some are still waiting for the version that lets them take their hands off the wheel for good. 7 years. 3 version numbers. 1 sentence, recycled. That is not a technology story yet. That is a pattern. And patterns are things you can actually check. So we are going to check it. Not with opinions. With Tesla's own numbers, a federal investigation covering 3.2 million cars, and something Tesla's own employees told a reporter that Tesla almost certainly wishes they hadn't. But that is not the part that made regulators nervous. Here's what made them nervous. A scene playing out on ordinary commutes every single day. Picture this. You're driving home in a light fog, sun low on the horizon, glare bouncing off wet pavement. That is the exact condition federal investigators pulled apart, crash by crash, to open the case now sitting on Tesla's desk. On March 18, 2026, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration escalated its investigation into full self-driving. Not a preliminary look, a formal engineering analysis, the last stop before a recall. It covers 3,203,000 Tesla vehicles, nearly every Model S, X3, Y, and Cybertruck built since 2016 with FSD on board. 9 crashes are under review, 1 fatality, 2 injuries. In each case, investigators found the same failure. The system lost track of a vehicle ahead of it in reduced visibility, and the warning, when it came too late to matter. Here's why this hits your wallet before it hits anything else. If you own one of these cars, you are already part of this investigation. Not someday. Right now. Now zoom out to Austin, where Tesla's robotaxi has been running the longest. Through February of 2026, the fleet had logged about 800,000 miles and reported 14 crashes to TSLA. That works out to 1 crash roughly every 57,000 miles. Independent analysis puts that rate at close to 4 times what a typical human driver crashes at in similar city driving. Tesla disputes the comparison. Its own vehicle safety report claims FSD achieves 1 major collision every 5.3 million miles. Nearly 9 times better than manual driving without active safety features turned on. Both of those numbers are real. They are just not measuring the same thing. That gap is exactly what a Reuters investigation zeroed in on in May of 2026. Reporters found that Tesla's comparison inflated its safety advantage by roughly a factor of 3, by counting only its own crashes where airbags deployed, then comparing that against a federal dataset with a lower bar, crashes serious enough to need a tow truck, airbag or not. Those are not words from a tech blog. That is Reuters, one of the most fact-checked wire services in the world, auditing Tesla's own report as its source document. But the number that should genuinely unsettle you did not come from a regulator or a reporter. It came from inside Tesla itself. Reuters spoke to 9 of Tesla's own data labelers, employees who sit for hours reviewing camera footage, teaching the system what a safe reaction looks like. 7 of the 9 said on the record they would not personally trust FSD to drive them anywhere. One put it more bluntly: he would not ride in a Tesla robotaxi no matter what he was paid. These are not critics. These are the people paid to make the system smarter, describing near misses with motorcyclists, cars that failed to pull over for ambulances, and a vehicle that drove straight into an active construction zone. 2 weeks after that April tweet promising version 15 would far exceed human safety, Musk was back on an earnings call with a very different tone. Unsupervised FSD for regular customers, he said, would arrive gradually as we feel like a particular geography is confirmed to be safe. No firm date attached, just geography, confirmed one region at a time. But the geography Musk mentioned isn't expanding the way you'd think. It's doing something almost nobody expected. Here's what almost nobody is tracking. While Tesla talks about confirmed geographies, the actual robotaxi fleet has been getting smaller. Independent tracking data shows Tesla's unsupervised robotaxi count peaked at 25 vehicles back in April of 2026. By the end of May, that number had dropped to 20, spread across Austin, Dallas, and Houston combined. The total fleet, supervised and unsupervised together, sits at just 34 cars. 34 cars. For a service that just added Miami to its map. That is the twist most coverage misses entirely. Tesla is not failing to expand because of red tape or slow permits or city councils dragging their feet. Tesla is choosing to run fewer cars on purpose because more cars on the road means more miles, and more miles at this crash rate means more accidents. Pulling vehicles back is very likely the responsible engineering choice. But it is the opposite of the growth story Tesla has been selling investors for 2 years. Here is what that means for the people actually driving these cars every day. 3.2 million vehicles are running software under a federal engineering analysis right now. Not a future version. The one already in your driveway if you own a recent Model 3, Model Y, or Cybertruck. That investigation typically takes 12 to 18 months to conclude. Some of you will be driving on that software the entire time this case stays open. And the clock on that federal scrutiny is not slowing down. 2 United States Senators, Ed Markey and Richard Blumenthal, sent TS a letter demanding the agency independently verify Tesla's claim of being 7 to 10 times safer than a human driver. They gave the agency a deadline, July 7, 2026. That deadline is this week. None of this proves full self-driving is unsafe by design. Tesla's engineers are working on a real, 10 times larger model in version 15, and it may genuinely be better. But may genuinely be better is not the sentence Tesla put on X in April. Far exceed human levels of safety is a sentence Tesla has now used 3 times, for 3 different versions across 3 different years, and the fleet meant to prove the current version already works is quietly getting smaller, not bigger. So here's what all 3 years of that recycled promise actually add up to. 3 years, 3 version numbers, 1 sentence copy-pasted into each one, and each time, the finish line moved instead of arriving. That's the gap, not a conspiracy, not incompetence, just the distance between what gets promised in a tweet and what a federal engineer finds when they pull the crash logs. Version 15 might close that gap. Nobody, including us, actually knows yet. What we know is what's true today. 3 million cars under investigation, a fleet shrinking instead of growing, and Tesla's own trainers who won't get in the car they help teach. Not the trade-in discount, not. Version 14 was basically already there. What do you actually think happens when version 15 ships? Does the sentence finally come true, or does Tesla just move on to version 16? One of those 34 cars is driving home empty tonight.